Metalheads, we need to talk. 2 years ago, after seeing Iron Maiden live, I was ready to say goodbye. But after seeing them on the Run For Your Lives tour, I'm conflicted. This show was nostalgic, powerful and fun, and one of their best shows in years. But as the final notes rang out, one thought hit me harder than any riff. Is Maiden done? Should they retire now while they're still on top? This show was everything you want from a metal show. The crowd was madness, the show was insane, the sound was massive, the band was on fire, and Simon Dawson, new drummer, was absolutely nailing the drum parts. I had goosebumps from start to finish. So in this video I'm gonna break down this concert, all the highs and the surprising lows, plus that fan-splitting debate, is it time to stop now? Now first off, this was sort of a whole day thing, because at lunchtime I went to Eddie's dive bar, got myself a whole new outfit, got the vibe going, even bought my first ever red wine bottle. This one will never be opened. The dive bar thing is such a nice extra, and I would advise you to go there if you can and buy your merch there, because the queue in the dive bar is just a fraction of what it is at the show. The gig was in an open field and a modest crowd of 60,000 people showed up. I went to my seats early, not knowing what to expect, but hoping that it would be better than in 2023. Maiden started with a blast. The sound was tight and it was really good for a 60,000 open air setup. I felt some new energy this time around. It was different from 2 years ago, where it felt that the band was somehow disengaged and almost like they didn't want to be there. Clearly with Simon Dawson on the drums, there comes some spark that I haven't felt with Iron Maiden for a few years. I do get it that Nico has had some health problems, but what Simon brought to the table here feels like they're rewinding the clock some 15-20 years or so. Just a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not saying that Simon plays in the same way as Nico did or Clive Burr did, but he definitely brings an energy and some punch that I feel has been missing. Now the rest of the band, Steve, Dave, Yannick and Adrian, they nailed everything, and you could just feel how the energy was between them, and that really transmitted to the crowd through the music. It was really cool to see, for example, when they were playing the slowed down parts of the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That part could have easily been on tape, but they played the whole thing live. Now with that renewed energy in the band, there were some moments where you felt that Father Time is catching up with Bruce just like the rest of us. The thing is with Bruce that he can still hit all the important notes at the age of 66, which should be material for research for some very clever people, but there were some songs where his pacing was off. He managed to make it work somehow because he's just a genius in the way that he applies his voice, but there were songs like Iron Maiden. In the beginning of that song, it felt totally off, but you judge for yourself. But it made me think, if now with Simon on the drum, the band is playing maybe a tad bit faster than in the past, making it harder for Bruce to keep up. The visuals were really an upgrade, and that feels a little bit weird to say because it's not like their stuff hasn't always been legendary, but this show is just different with those immersive digital themes coming on each song. It gives it so much more spectacle somehow. It missed its mark a little bit in the beginning because of the daylight, but when it got dark and the last 6-7 songs, it was amazing. The crowd engagement was brilliant. I mean, there are not many frontmen better than Bruce at this, but it was different this time. He spent less time talking between songs, and I think there are two reasons for that. First of all, I don't think that the band needs as much of a breather between songs as they needed when Nico was drumming. The second reason is that the setlist was a little bit longer and a lot of long songs, so no need to drag out the show. But Bruce got them going in all the right songs, and the crowd was switched on from first moment to the last. They had asked fans not to film right in front of the stage. I didn't see people obey to that. But on the other hand, I also do get a little bit. I mean, it's not every day that you go to a show where your favorite band is playing their 50th anniversary gig. Now the setlist was the wet dream of every Iron Maiden fan. These are the songs we all want to hear, but we also want to hear them performed at a very high standard. Last time, I didn't feel that they could do that, but this time around, they definitely did. I was very happy with this setlist. Obviously, I would have wanted more, 2-3 songs more, maybe Running Free, The Prisoner, and I think it could have been cool to rotate like a deep cut that would change between shows. So considering all this, I would score this concert as a 10 out of 10. I felt there was some killer energy in the band. Simon Dawson drumming made them tighter. It was an epic show, great setlist, and 60,000 fans that were switched on from first moment to the last. But watching this show, that question kept haunting me. Is it finally time for Iron Maiden to hang up their boots? You want to go out while you're still on top, still fierce, still respected. We want to remember Iron Maiden as the unstoppable force that they have always been, not some sort of a shell of themselves. And stopping at 50, I mean, that's a nice, cool round number, and to be honest, not many bands make it that far. Now, Nico McBrain is not touring with them anymore, which is a huge shift. But how many lineup changes are we willing to accept before this becomes something else than the Iron Maiden that we grew up with? Let's be honest, those first albums that they're celebrating on this tour are all legendary game changers. Now the later stuff, some of it is really good, but it has nowhere near the impact that the older stuff has. You could say their best stuff is behind them, because I really don't see this band bringing out an album in the coming years full or even half full of bangers. I saw Kiss and it was rough, sometimes even painful. Watching a band that you love struggle on stage can be heartbreaking. This one might be a little bit left field, but think about it. Headlining slots are of limited supply. And if the legends never step aside, where do the next big bands go to perform? Maybe the future of metal is somewhere stuck in the waiting list and doesn't get on the big stage because it's occupied by the old bands. Ticket prices have become insane. We're talking about $100 to $300 per show. But if the quality dips even slightly, fans will get alienated and accuse the bands of money grabbing. From this performance, I feel like Simon Dawson has given the band a new lease on life. There was some spark there that was missing before. Despite those small pacing issues with Bruce, he still absolutely has it. So this band is actually still performing at an incredibly high level. Now the fact that this is a 60,000 people sold out show proves to me that the demand is still there. And the crowd loves it. And there are still new fans being recruited into the tribe. Now what else are they supposed to do? This isn't just a job, this is their whole identity and their purpose. They've been doing this for 50 years, they're Iron Maiden. It's not like you retire from that easily and become what? An office clerk. And we would never tell a writer not to write his next novel because he is too old. Metal can struggle at times and we need those bands flying the flag as role models. Iron Maiden has kept going through many downturns, new genres, they dipped away, but they always keep coming back. So until the next generation of bands truly rises up, we need those guys in the front line. Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest, and the likes. Now, if they were even to consider retiring, they can't go out without saying goodbye. We would deserve at least equally monumental or even bigger tour than the Run for Your Life tour. Because you can't just vanish after 50 years of legendary service to the fans. And after seeing this incredible show, my personal opinion is that please don't stop. Keep going. So what do you think? Will you attend this tour? Should Iron Maiden hang up the boots or die with their boots on? Tell me in the comments. And I do those videos all the time, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. And I do have a few more Iron Maiden videos on my channel that you might be interested in, so there is a link to that playlist in the first comment below. And talking about Iron Maiden, I was fortunate enough to be in one of the last shows of Paul Di'Anno that was both amazing and bizarre, so check that out here.